Hello and welcome to an NGB video review and first impressions for Yakuza 0 on PlayStation 4. My name's Robin and I'll be going through some of the features in the game and giving you an idea of what it's like in preparation for our full review, which will be up on the site in a few days' time. For those of you unfamiliar with Sega's Yakuza series, Yakuza 0 is actually the 6th entry in the main series and serves as a prequel to all the other games. And basically you play as Kazuma Kiryu, the Dragon of Dojima, who in the previous games is quite high up in the Tojo Yakuza family. However, in Yakuza 0 you see his rise to power more or less. You kind of get a bit of a flashback to see how he got to the point of being high up in the Yakuza family. Being a prequel, this is a perfect jumping on point for new players in the series. And considering that Yakuza series has never actually really caught on massively with Western audiences, despite its massive popularity in Japan, it's nice to be able to kind of almost reboot the series with Yakuza 0, especially as many players won't have had the chance to play number 1 and 2 back on the PlayStation 2. Anyone who was interested in playing Yakuza recently would have been pretty lost in the storyline which had been unfolding for more than a decade. This is definitely a recommended point for people who maybe have always wanted to try the series but never known where they should dive in. The Yakuza games are mainly focused in a recreation of the red light district of Shinjuku in Tokyo, and this is a really accurate representation of the area. I mean, there are so many little details which the series is famous for. You can wander the streets, you can go to different restaurants and get food when you're hungry or when your health is low. You can have drinks and you can drink too much and get drunk. There are all sorts of different shops and activities and entertainments you can partake in whilst you're wandering around the streets. It's really famous for being such a deep experience and recreation of Japanese life. There's so many little touches that, especially if you've ever visited Tokyo, you will recognise as you walk around the streets in Yakuza. And Yakuza 0 may well be the most detailed game yet in the series. One of the main points of the game is fighting the street fights. You're constantly bombarded by thugs on the street or people you need to rescue from maybe muggings and such. But there are so many other activities such as karaoke bars. You can go and do karaoke mini singing games. You can do darts and pool, or you can go to the batting cages and hit some baseballs, improve your physical attributes for the game. There are so many different things to keep you occupied. You often find yourself so busy with mini games and different extra activities that you're actually not really progressing through the main story. I mean, that's not necessarily a negative point in the game, but you could easily find yourself pumping hours and hours into the game, being distracted by mini games and side missions. The Yakuza series is also famous for its really brutal fight scenes, and you'll have plenty of that in Yakuza 0, what with all the rival Yakuza gangs and street thugs just looking for fights, and you'll have plenty of opportunity to practice. Thankfully there are lots of new fighting styles which you can unleash, whereas previous titles in the series have only allowed you to level up your normal fighting style. Yakuza 0 gives each character 3 different fighting preset styles which they can switch between on the fly, and being able to switch between them ad hoc in the middle of fights really adds some variety to the different maneuvers you can pull off and makes the fights a lot more interesting and tactical often, as you can pick the correct style for which is best to combat the enemy you're fighting at the time. But it's the heat finishers which really catch your attention. Throughout each fight you build up heat as you successfully strike or successfully block or evade different moves. And once you've reached certain levels on the power bar for heat maneuvers, you can pull off devastating finishing moves which are really brutal, often making use of the environment or nearby items to knock out your enemy. These fights can begin to get somewhat repetitive after a while, but there's such a wealth of content on offer in the game that there's always something for you to be going to do instead if you do get a bit sick and tired of it. And some of the fights do really ramp up and get pretty difficult as the game progresses, especially the boss battles, where sometimes you'll be fighting through waves and waves of enemies just to reach a super powered boss who will really take some tactical thinking and choosing your fight styles, and then also making use of power-up items to give you extra abilities or to replenish lost health and heat. You really have to come prepared to some of these fights and make sure you visit shops to upgrade your skills and to buy new equipment which will help you in your battles. But some of the most endearing things about the Yakuza games are the strange Japanese quirks. These often come out in the side missions in the game. There are some really odd missions where you'll be going around helping the citizens of Tokyo, such as one where you're helping a young boy who was queuing up all night to buy the latest computer game, only to have it stolen from him, and you spend a while trying to track that down and win it back for him. Or another where you mistakenly stumble onto a television show set and have to help as a stage production manager, trying to help make sure they get the perfect shots for the advert they're filming. There are so many strange little missions that just really make you laugh, because I don't know if it's partially a bad translation from Japanese or just the quirky sense of humour, but there's really loads of entertaining missions and situations to find yourself in the game. With the amount of content on offer in Yakuza 0, I could really go on and on forever about it, explaining everything to you, but instead you're just going to have to wait for our written review when it goes live on the site in just a few days' time. So it just remains for me to say thank you for watching, and if you like what we're doing at NGB, please subscribe and share.